Hey, safety man here. My effort is always to keep you safe, legal, and effective in defending yourself, your friends, your family, the people you worship with, or any innocent third party you endeavor to protect. I was asked to create a video on the best way for juveniles, or young men especially young brown men, to interact when they're contacted by law enforcement. I will say the same thing that I said in my most recent video of how concealed carry firearms holders should interact when they're contacted by law enforcement. The number one rule is comply. I stress this: comply or die. Comply now, complain later. The law has many avenues for us to report suspected police misconduct. We can report it to that actual agency. We can report it a level above to that county prosecutor's office. We can report it to the New Jersey Attorney General's office. They have an Office of Public Integrity and Accountability. We could go to the FBI. We could contact a private civil rights attorney. There are many, many avenues that we can report this incident. You are legally allowed to record your incident. My stressful message is always to do everything respectfully. I don't want to throw my camera in an officer's face if I'm going to record it. I will ask the officer very politely, "Excuse me, officer, are you recording this on your body camera? May I record it as well? If not the video, at least the audio." And as I said earlier, there are apps on your phone where you could just go, "Hey Siri, can you record this interaction for me?" You can download those apps that will do that for you. The first thing we want to do is stop. When we're contacted by a law enforcement officer, we want to stop all movement. We do not have crystal balls as private citizens, and having been a law enforcement officer for 27 years, I was never issued nor taught how to use a crystal ball. So you don't know why the officer is contacting you, and the officer doesn't know what you're up to. It may be a call for service. It may be somebody reporting a suspicious person in the area. You may fit the description of somebody or some people who need to be contacted by law enforcement. We don't know. And the officer doesn't know what you're about. You may be just like everybody watching this video, is a law-abiding, great person, upstanding citizen who happens to be contacted by law enforcement. I traveled to many states. I've traveled to Europe. I've traveled to several different countries, and I make it a point to go up to every uniform officer I see, and I say, "Excuse me, officer, is it okay if I take a selfie with you?" And I've never been assaulted. I've never even been denied. Go through my Facebook feed. You'll see me taking selfies with officers in numerous states and in numerous countries, hugging. They're letting me sit in their police cars, on their police cars, in their quads, all kinds of things. It's because of my demeanor, my attitude. I've already got it in my mind that I'm going to be respectful to this officer. So stop what you're doing when you're contacted by a law enforcement officer. Have in your mind that you're going to be respectful, even if the officer is not. Even if the officer comes off as unprofessional, I must remain professional. Someone has to be the adult in the room. Someone has to start to de-escalate this situation. So stop. Be polite. De-escalate. Be respectful. Use terms like sir, ma'am, officer, trooper, whatever that may be. Next, answer the officer's questions truthfully and honestly, without, if you did commit a crime, without necessarily incriminating yourself. I don't want anyone to take this video as me saying that you should automatically incriminate yourself. Everybody, regardless of their age, has the right to remain silent. But we also want to communicate that to the police in a respectful manner. Officer, I intend to cooperate, but my parents, my teacher, my father, my pastor, some adult in your life told you. I'm sorry, officer. I intend to cooperate, but I'm not allowed to say anything else until I speak with another adult, or my attorney, or my dad's attorney, or my mom's attorney, or a family attorney, or some other trusted adult, your coach, your teacher, your mentor, your parents, somebody like that. But you see how I'm saying it. Officer, I intend to comply, but I was told by this person not to say anything until I speak with another adult. May I call that person? So we stopped. We're de-escalating. We're speaking professionally. Number 3, don't hang out with people who are doing bad things. Don't. We have plenty of friends to choose from. Don't let them be the reason that you're contacted by law enforcement. If your friends are up to doing something bad, you have to make that decision now that I'm just not going to be part of that. I made that decision a long time ago. Now, having been a police officer for 27 years, it was against my contract and I could get fired if I was hanging out with or associating with known criminals. So make that your policy. If your friends are doing bad things, vandalism, ringing doorbells and running away at night. I know it sounds funny, but everybody's got Ring video doorbells now, and everybody's afraid of home invasions and getting their porch pirates and packages stolen, and they're going to call the police on you. They're going to have your picture, your description, your clothing, and you're going to get contacted, and you're going to be nervous, and you're going to be scared. And I don't want you to make a mistake that's going to get you hurt or killed or arrested. But I'm trying to also help you preserve your dignity as well. So I believe if we stop what we're doing, comply with the officer and communicate to the officer that you will comply, and then wait for their instructions, then you can ask professionally and calmly, officer, am I under arrest? Am I free to leave? Not, am I under arrest? Can I get out of here? No. Officer, am I under arrest? Am I free to leave? And then that officer will make that choice. If the officer's recording it, if you're recording it, if there are witnesses around, make sure you say that. Because if you were free to leave and you were not under arrest, but the officer contained you there or detained you there, you have a lawsuit. So show me the money. The Attorney General's policy clearly provides for the ability of private citizens to sue any law enforcement official for false arrest or criminal detainment, criminal restraint, for violating your constitutional rights, your 4th Amendment right, your 5th Amendment right for self-incrimination, and illegal or unlawful search and seizure. So ask the officer, just like I'm saying it. I'm sorry, officer, but I'm told to ask, am I free to leave? Am I under arrest? And then wait for that answer. If they say no, we continue to comply. And then we exercise our rights. Officer, I don't feel comfortable speaking without an attorney, and then I will comply fully. So we stop movement to not give the officer a reason to use force or think that we are a flight risk or going to destroy evidence or we're going to assault him or her. We're going to de-escalate the situation and remain professional. We're going to answer the officer's questions unless they're incriminating us for something that we know that we did do wrong. Then we're going to ask for an attorney. We're going to ensure that this is being recorded either by you, by witnesses, or by the officer's body-worn camera or dash cam in his or her police car. Once the situation is over, ask the officer politely, officer, I was also told by my father, by my teacher, by my coach, by some trusted adult that I'm supposed to get your name and your badge number just so I can have that for my records. And the officer should provide you that. If the officer does it, again, that officer is violating his or her policy, and we have more and more reasons to justify the fact that we had our rights abused. So we remain professional. So when that video is played back, if it should go viral, you come out like a shining rock star and that officer comes out looking unprofessional. That is the goal of this entire message, is I want you to remain the star of this event. I want you to remain the most professional person in this contact. As soon as the incident is over, I want you to take your mobile phone, turn the camera on, video a selfie, and verbally document exactly what happened. I was standing here next to the Wawa with 2 of my friends. A police car rolled up. He contacted us. He separated us. He started asking us questions. The police car had the number 35 on it, and it said New Jersey State Police. The officer was described as a black male, bald head, sunglasses. He said his number was 73. And he said, I did this. He said, I did that. And I asked if I could speak with an attorney or if I could leave. He told me just to get out of here. then document that. So that contemporaneous, that real-time documentation is very good in court, and it's also going to help you remember in case your rights were violated. It'll help you remember, so when you have to give a statement to any other agency to investigate this case, that you can likely prevail. So again, I want you to comply. I want you to comply. But before that, I don't want you engaging in activity that's going to cause you to get contacted. But remember, you don't have a crystal ball. The police don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows what the other person is up to until this contact progresses. They're going to read your demeanor. You're going to read their demeanor. I want your demeanor to always be professional, de-escalation, lowering the temperature, and making sure that you come out of this maintaining your life, your freedom, and your dignity. So practice now, stay safe, and be ready.